Hi, I'm Tim from Tower. I'm one of the account managers here. I've got Justin with me today. The plan for today is we're just going to do a more thorough run through on how our system works for firearms, fishing and camping, just to help give you a bit clearer picture of what we do and how it all works. So look, I won't bore you with too much info yet. I'll jump in and I'll share my screen and we'll run through it. There you go. You should be able to see my screen there. Yep. So what we have here, this is essentially your main screen of the system. When you first open it up, this is what you'll see. What I really like about the system is this is totally customizable by machine, and you can really easily change as well. So if you want to, say, have your full layout here that might be for the owner, where out the back you're managing things like the website integration, you're doing any larger quotes and invoicing, you might have the Xero integration set up on there as well. But they're features that you may not necessarily want your staff out the front having access to. So you can certainly have a cut down version. So I might have my point of sale one, and I've got it password protected, so not everyone can jump between these levels. But I can change this over. So on the point of sale registers, you might just have access to the point of sale, the repairs functionality, and the end of day process. So we can tailor that to suit. And look, I would just say our typical customer, the most common scenario would be 2 computers out the back and 2 computers at the front of house for serving customers. And so that level of flexibility is really good for, just simplifying it so staff only have access to what they need. But look, I'll change back to my full layout so I can show the full functionality. So like I said, totally customizable. That flexibility and that customization also flows through to the point of sale screen. So this is my point of sale screen. Now, I apologize for my color scheme. I've mucked around with my buttons a bit at the bottom there, but you can choose what buttons you have there, whether they link to groups of products. So go through levels. I can click one of those to sell an absolute product. They can be shortcuts to other areas of the system. So I could go from here to my stock arrival screen. If you have staff that process stock in while they're standing at the front, we can set that all up to suit. Or if you need more buttons there or less buttons, we can customize all of that. They can either be along the bottom there, like I've got mine, or they can be down either side. You can pick and choose.
Yeah, that's really handy for especially people coming from other providers where they might be used to the buttons along the right-hand side or the left-hand side. So we can try and replicate that as best we can, just so they're more comfortable with learning the new system as well. Yeah,
really good point. And I mean, we see, you'd know this as well as I do, Justin, we see a heap of people, businesses coming across from Retail Manager where they simply don't have that depth of functionality. So, to start with, in those early stages, they may not use things like the special customer orders or, the repairs and job management. They might leave that out for the beginning, just while they adjust and get used to the new system. And then we can change that and add them in down the track.
Yeah.
So really easy to customize this screen. As far as putting a transaction through, dead easy. Most of your products will have barcodes on them. If anything doesn't have a barcode, or maybe it's a large item that you can't scan, like, I'm not exactly going to bring a safe up to the counter to scan it to put a sale through. So I've got those set so I can just go into safes. I've got my different types. This customer's buying a spiker. I've got my different sizes. They're after the large one. And you can see there, when I select that to add it to the sale, it's actually bringing up a picture of it so I can view it and confirm that that is that right product. I can add that one to my transaction. If they wanted some clays at the same time, I've just got a direct button there to sell my box of clays. And you can see there, one box is $28. But I've got them on a promotion. If they buy multiple boxes, that price drops to $25. So as soon as I select the second, you can see there it's automatically discounted that down for me. The catalog functionality is really thorough as well, in the sense that you could say, this safe is normally $1,095. It might be on sale for $100 off until the end of the month. So you can preset that. But it's also really smart. You can do quantity levels. So like my clays there, once I buy a certain amount, the price drops. I can even do special category discounts, where I might say, anytime someone buys a firearm in that same transaction, they get 5% off any scopes or bags or any other accessories that they may get. So catalogs is really thorough. Anything you'd want to add on catalogs, Justin?
No, not at the moment.
No. Actually, sorry, one other thing. You can also set those to run across transactions. So you could say, if a customer buys 10 boxes of ammo, they get the 11th one free. And even if that's over the space of, say, 2 months, it'll record that against the customer's details and then prompt you when you need to give that free pack away. While I've got my transaction up here, I've got that safe on there, 1,095. Inevitably, customers tend to negotiate a lot more these days. So if someone was asking for a better price on that, I can actually simply click on my discount here, and this shows me my GP information at the bottom. It'll remember what you normally do, whether you discount by percentage, dollars off, or your normally set price. But I could simply say percentage off, I'll give you 5% off, and that's then adjusted my price for me automatically. So really quick to do those discounts on the fly. Most of our customers, we encourage them when they do put a transaction through to record the customer's results. So the details, sorry. So my sale here is 1,090. I could hit my customer name option. And if I wanted to say, assign this sale to Justin, I can then go through and add him in. So I'll add you in, Justin. Now, the main details I want to get, I just want mobile number and email. I've got a couple of tick boxes here. The main one I want to select there is allow SMS for this customer, and I'll come back to that one in a sec. I can grab any extra details. At this point, I might want to see Justin's firearms license. So I grab it, I can put the details in here. So I can put his license number and when that expires. I'm just going to say it's 2030. I could also assign a customer barcode to Justin at this point. So if I said, hey, do you want to join our loyalty program, Justin? I can grab, we can do like a credit card style card, all your business details on the front and a barcode on the back. Simply scan that, pass it to Justin, and anytime he comes in, he can use that card for tracking his sales. I've got a few other options here. I can allocate whether Justin's a loyalty customer or not, whether I want to exclude him from marketing. So maybe he doesn't want to get all my regular emails and texts, so I can turn that off. I could also give him a discount. So if I said, you know what, Justin's part of our local firearms club, I could assign him to that particular category. And what that would then do is maybe give him 5% off ammo every time he comes in, or 10% off clothing. I can assign that sort of stuff. I've got the category for his discount voucher. I'll come back to that one in a bit. Now, I've also got a few toggles here based on that customer. So Justin, if you know, he turned around and said, look, I don't want you to email me any receipts, I can disable that just for that one customer. Or if he was really looking after the environment, he said, look, don't print me any receipts either, I can disable that too. Keep in mind, everything's recorded in the system. So if, you know, Justin called up in 3 weeks and said, hey, you know, can I get a copy of the receipt for warranty purposes? I could email that through to him, or I could print out another copy really easy. I can also give him any tags. So I can put in here, I might put in long range, I might put in local, and I can give Justin any tags so that for marketing purposes, I could come back in and I could grab any customers that have that tag against them. But I'll just finish that one off. So I've added Justin in, this sale's allocated to him, and now I'm going to finalize it. We integrate with Zip and Hum. We also integrate with most FPOS pin pads. So if Justin wanted to pay by card, as most customers do these days, I simply hit my FPOS button. That would take the 1,090 and put that onto the screen of my pin pad. So Justin taps his card, sale's done, and it's completed. That'll print off the transaction receipt if I wanted it to. And those receipts, I've got mine set to preview on the screen here. These can be totally customized. So you can see there, we normally put your logo on the top. You've got your store details and license number. I've got Justin's details on there, and I've got any products that he purchased. If I scroll down, I've also got it showing how much he saved. I've got the barcode on there as well. Those receipts can be totally customized, and you can do a few other cool things with them as well. if any of these products had notes with them or anything I wanted to call out, I can have that detailed in there. You can also attach images and promotions to them. So we've had local, firearms dealers do a promotion where they might say, hey, we're going to be out at the range on this date. If you want to come along and try out any of our firearms, they'll put that sort of thing in the body of the receipt. And you can also do some cool things with loyalty on the receipts as well. You can set it so that on the bottom here, it'll do a little voucher based on how much the customer spent. So in this case, if it's over $1,000 on a safe, I might have it set to do 5% of the value of that as a voucher on the bottom of that receipt. So really customizable and really easy. And look, I guess one thing I'd add to that, anyone watching this, don't feel like all of this functionality you have to pick up in the absolute beginning when we first put the system in. With all of our systems, as part of the subscription, you can book unlimited one-on-one 2-hour training sessions with us. So if you thought, yep, let's get the basics done, and then in 3 months you wanted to turn on those discount vouchers or start using more functionality, just book a session with us and we'll help you out with that. Anything you wanted to add on receipts and transactions, Justin?
Oh, look, I was just going to say, those stock notes are really handy. Obviously, you spoke about warranty info before, but passing on, warranty information, or even, if you're selling a firearm, how to best, care for that firearm. And you can go one step further as well and actually, sorry if you're going to show this, but, attach documents as well. So if it is, a booklet on all the warranty info or whatever it might be, you can attach those as PDF copies, when you do email the receipts to the customer.
Yeah. Look, I'll jump into that and I'll show that quickly now. So, as Justin mentioned, it's really flexible with that sort of stuff. So this is my stock screen. I've got a Ruger Precision here. I can see my cost and sell price info down the bottom here. Across the top, I've got a heap of different tabs. So I can load unlimited images against any one product. I can also put any extra details in it. So this box at the top is what will print out on the receipt when I sell that product. And this box at the bottom will flow through to integrate with my website. And down the bottom here is where I can attach any of those data sheets Justin was talking about. You've also got a few other tabs in here. You've got variants. So variants is really handy if you sell any clothing or anything that comes in different sizes and colors. You can link all of those together. Not so much important for the point of sale, but certainly when it hits your website, that is vital, because it means if you've got a pair of shoes, for example, it means it'll hit your website and display as one image, as one product, and give the customer the option of choosing what size and color they may want. So a good example of that, here's a website we built for a customer, and they've got a Spiker hoodie, and you can see there it comes in small, large, medium. You can see the various sizes all listed there.
And that actually changes the price, if it is different pricing per variant as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, correct. And even if there's different images against the different sizes and colors, that'll change across. And while we've got this up on the screen, we also have an in-house web development team. So if anyone's looking for us to build a website for them, we're more than happy to help with that side of things as well. And we've done a lot of cool things for, a lot of retail businesses, but look, a lot of firearms dealers and camping stores as well. And I mean, this website doesn't have it. They've simply got theirs saying stock available, but some of our customers have chosen to display absolute stock levels there. And so that's synchronizing with the point of sale. So if you sell out in store, it'll change to say out of stock on your website. If you update pricing, it'll update on the website. It's really seamless approach. But I'll just jump back to my point of sale. Another big part of this is selling a firearm. So if I was selling my Ruger Precision here, for example, I've got it set to, again, bring up that image. I've got 7 of them in stock at the moment. When I select that to add it to the sale, it's also asking me for the serial number. So serial numbers are all fully tracked in the system. So when I receive the Ruger Precision in and I say I'm getting 5, it would ask me for the 5 serial numbers. Some customers choose to use that in a slightly different way. You can have it set just to ask you at the time of sale. But personally, I think for firearms, it's really important to track that from arrival to sale, because Then at any point, I can jump in and I can say, show me all of the firearms I've got in stock and what the serial numbers are. The other really good thing about tracking serial numbers is it shows you the date they are arrived. So if I was selling a Ruger Precision, I might look at this and go, well, hang on, I got these ones in August 2020. So I want to sell these ones rather than the ones I got in earlier today. So I can simply select that particular serial number and add that to the transaction. Again, I'm just going to assign this one to Justin. So I'll come in here, I'll find his account. There he is. And I could search in that customer grid by first name, surname, mobile number, email address, his customer number. I could search by his loyalty number. I could scan his card. There's a heap of different ways to do it. So I've got my Ruger Precision there for Justin. I'm just going to give him a discount percentage off. I'll give you 5% off that one.
Thanks.
So 1,044, you're welcome. Paying by FPOS again, and that'll finalise it and print me my receipt. As I mentioned before, those receipts can have those notes on it. So you can see there, I've got this one set, just calling out. It comes with one magazine and it's got all of the specs listed there. It shows them any licensing information, and you can see it's got that first bit there is the barcode for it, and then it's got the serial number listed there as well. Those receipts, that one's a docket style, but they can be in A4, A5, or a heap of different variations, depending on what people are looking to achieve from them. So look, that's largely what I had on my list as far as the kind of base point of sale goes. Anything you'd like to add to that, Justin?
Were you going to talk about special orders?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. So that's on the list. Actually, sorry, one other thing. You mentioned, adding notes to sales before as well. If it is any specific sale, so if I was against I'll just choose the Ruger Precision again. You can also add any notes to this as well. So I could put a note on here and I could say, Justin is waiting on license approval, approx 2 weeks before collection. So you can put any notes and that would then print on that receipt. It would record that against his account so I could look that information up. It's all in there. But yeah, so special orders. So the system also tracks all of the special orders in the system. We have got a separate video on this. So if you want to see the full nitty and gritty of it, absolutely jump in and look that up. But if I was doing a special order, I'm just going to type in, I've got one here, Tim's gun. I can look up that firearm. So this is my Ruger Precision. Down the bottom here, I can see every time I've received it and how many I normally get into stock. I can also see whether its cost and sell price fluctuates at all. I can see this one comes from, I've got supplier, Niowa. I've got all of its information there. If Justin wanted to order another one of these firearms, I can hit order this item. It's going to put it onto my next pending order report with Niowa. It's going to order one, and I can click in customer number, and I can choose him out of my list here. Yep, I want to put that on that order. I could charge Justin a deposit if I wanted to. I could even take the full amount, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'll sell it either way. And that's done. That's put that on order onto that next reorder report for Niowa. When I receive that in, it's going to stop and say, hey, don't forget Justin's got that on order. It's also going to print a pricing label with Justin's details on it, so we know to put it aside for him. And in the background, it would automatically send Justin an email or text message to say that his firearm is ready for collection. So we can automate all of that sort of stuff in the background. And from here, you can also view any customer orders. So if you wanted to see who had that on order, I can click here and I can see the status of all of those, whether they've paid a deposit, when it was ordered, when it arrived. I can view that full history of it.
Yeah.
Lay-bys is also really, really flexible in the system. And again, we've got a separate video on this one, so I won't go through it in full detail. But it is really flexible. You simply ring up your transaction. I've got a new lay-by option down the bottom here, and I can put that lay-by transaction through. That will give you options for doing things like choosing the collection date, if they put 5 items on lay-by and they want to take one home because they've paid enough, you can do all of that sort of stuff. And the really cool thing with it is everything is called out on the receipts for the customer. So if they come in and make a payment, it would show those 5 products listed on the lay-by, but also have dates that each one of those items was collected if they did pick up certain things. It'll also show them a full history of any time a payment's made, any time there's adjustments. All of that is visible on those lay-by receipts. While I'm in point of sale as well, I've got an option there for gift vouchers. They have been really common and really popular with our customers over the years. We've got a company we work with that will produce a credit card style card. They do the design work on the front if you want them to, with all your logos and text and everything like that. There's just a barcode on the back, so I can hit that gift voucher button, choose how much I want to charge it with, and scan the card. That will then issue that to the customer. If that was, say, a $100 gift voucher, they come in and only spend $20, it knows there's $80 remaining linked to that voucher. So yeah, look, I think that is really covering off everything to do with point of sale. The next part of the system I wanted to run through was repairs and job management. Again, really popular, especially with our firearm stores. You can get to it a couple of different ways, either from the point of sale, I can have a shortcut key to get there, or I can go back to my main screen here and I can have a repairs option there. So
just before you get into that, Tim, I noticed you mentioned you get to it for the point of sale. That's a really good feature in the sense that, like, especially if you're a single register store where you might do your stock arrivals, your sales, your repairs, you'll notice that Tim hasn't left the point of sale in this whole demonstration. So it's really easy to navigate to different parts of the software without getting halfway through an invoice arrival and then, cancelling it and going and selling an item and back to it. So
yeah. And you're right. So I can bring up my invoice arrivals. I could bring up my customer screen if I needed to change anything on Justin's account, or, if he wanted a copy of one of those previous receipts, I could come in here and I can print an email. I can select the transaction and I can email that through. So you can jump into your arrivals, into your customer screen, even into my stock screen for the last product that I was working with. I can jump straight in there. If I hit that, if I wanted to change any details with that, I could go in there and do it.
Yeah. Sorry, carry on with repairs.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to go through the repairs side of things. So you can jump in. And again, I've said this a couple of times, but we do have a separate video on how the repairs and job management works, but very, very thorough. You can come in and you can add a job in. So I'm going to go add repair, repair number 22. I'm going to choose Justin. So there he is. He's the last customer I was working with. If any of his details were incorrect there, I could hit customer details and I could update that. It's me booking the repair in. I'm booking it in today, and I can choose an expected pickup. I've got mine defaulting to be around about a week later, 2 weeks later. We can preset that. I've got the quote value. So if I said, oh, look, Justin, it shouldn't be any more than $200 to fix this for you, I can put that in there. If I wanted to just do this really quick, maybe it was something I was going to do today and I didn't want to track every detail, I could just simply put some quick instructions in here. So I could put in magazine jamming. And then I could finish that and I could print my job cards and Justin could get out of here and I'll go and repair his firearm. But that said, if I want to do it in the full way and track everything, I can actually go next and I could either add a firearm in here. If it was a firearm Justin had purchased from me, I could hit select stock and I could select it from his transactions. Or if it was something that was maybe in my database, but I didn't have a sale for Justin for that, maybe it was before you put the system in, I could select it from my stock database. Or if he was just bringing in maybe a historical firearm, I could come in here and I could just choose what it is. So I can say this is a rifle, and I've got some pre-configured fields here. So you can have those all preset. So I could go through and fill all of those out. I could put any notes in. So I might put in here, scratch on barrel. That way, all of that information is on, it's tracked in the system, but it's also on the customer's receipt. So if Justin came back in to pick it up and he said, well, there's a pretty big scratch on the barrel there, you can just say, hey, look, we called that out. That was in the notes when you dropped it off, check your receipt. As you continue through, you can have preset jobs. So if you've just got things like standard services and whatnot, you can have them all preset, and that will do things like automatically allocating the price, automatically allocating any instructions to it. You can even have those set to automatically allocate specific parts that need to be used in that repair, and it will auto add them to that job. If I finish that one off, while I'm in the repair, I've also got options in here to assign any images. So if I wanted to take photos of it to link it to it, I can. I can add any products to it. So if I needed to add any parts to it, I can do that sort of stuff. And back on my main screen, I can choose what I want to do with charging. So I could say, yep, use the amount that I quoted him. I'm going to charge Justin the $200. Just to jump back a step, when it's first dropped off as well, I can hit print my job cards. When you print your job cards, it gives you options to do up to 3 different variations of those. And check out the other video for some previews of what they look like, but they can either be receipt docket style, they can be A4, they can be A5, they can even print on job packets if it was something smaller. So you've got a lot of flexibility with that, and what information is on each version of those as well. It's really customizable. As soon as I finish this repair, all I've got to do is put a completed date in and save that. That will then automatically, and mine might get an error message here because it's not going to be able to do it. That would automatically email or text message Justin to let him know that his repair is completed and to come pick it up. You've got search options at the top here. So if you need to find, if someone calls up and they want to know what the status is, you can look that up. You can look up historical ones. There's reporting built into that. It's really flexible. Anything you want to add to repairs, Justin?
No, look, I think you've covered it pretty well. Like, yeah, that fine repair, you can sort it by statuses, which you said. Yeah, no, you've covered it well.
Yep. So the next thing I was going to run through, one of my favourite parts of the system is the reordering process. We get a lot of really good feedback from our customers on this, on just how much time it will save. A really good example of the reordering process is things like ammo. Rather than, walking around with a clipboard and going, yep, looks like we're running low on this, we're running low on that. The best way to manage those things is order by sales. You can set products to have minimum and maximum levels. So when it reaches the minimum, it'll reorder back up to the maximum. But I personally love reorder by sales because not only can you do it for a particular group of products, but you can choose what time frame you want to base that reordering on. So, if it was shotgun shells, for example, you might do your reordering. You could either reorder, if it's simply replenishing, you could go in and say, yep, give me a reorder report based on my last 2 weeks of sales. Or if you know you're about to start a particular season, so maybe, duck season's rolling around, I could jump into the system and I could say, look, show me what I sold through the last duck season, and let's do a large order to cover all of that. So you start it with a bigger display at the start of the season, you've got the stock, and essentially, you're going to have a pretty good chance of selling it. So all I need to do, I can go select department. So I'm just going to choose ammo. I can choose the date range that I want to reorder based on, and I'm just going to choose a couple of years so I get some data. I can get a monthly breakdown as well. And so on this next screen, if I had that selected, that would show me how many I sold in January, February, March, and so on. Just going to leave that out just to keep it off my screen for the time being. And again, we've got another video on walking through this whole process. But I can come in here and I can see I've got 4 different shotgun shells that I sold from Valentine Ammo. In here, I can see how many I sold, how many I've got on hand, and I can choose how many I want to reorder. So I could go through this line by line. So I could say I want sold 30 of those, I'll get another 30. Sold 9 of those, I only want to get 3. And I could go through and do that manually. Or if this was had 100 items on it, I could simply go, use the quantity I sold, and that would populate that in there for all of them for me, which I could then just go through and edit, and I can then email that order off to the supplier. That will merge with any special customer orders you have in the system. So if there were any outstanding, it will put that all onto the one nice report for you. And yeah, you can shoot it off to your suppliers. Anything you want to add there, Justin?
I guess just back to that screen, like most screens within the software, so, the find customer screen or find stock screen, you can manipulate that to show and hide specific information about the stock items as well. So yeah, if you click on that little button up the top there, if you want to know, how many you've got on pending orders or sent orders, you might need 30 of those, but you might have an order coming in, soon with 20 or 30 on their order. So you can sort of make a better business decision around the data shown on that screen.
Yeah, really good point. And if you've got multiple stores, you can also view the quantity on hand at each of those stores as well. So yeah, as Justin said, you can customize that. And that option there, this little toggle here where you can choose the fields, actually appears in quite a few screens. So your customer search screen or your stock screen, for example, if I go into my point of sale and I was trying to find a stock item, again, I can choose what fields are visible here. So I might want to, I don't care about the date it was entered. I don't want its PLU. So I can turn those on and off to manipulate how that screen looks. I can resize these columns. I can resort them into different orders. You can chop and change it, and that will hold that information for next time you bring up this screen. So point of sale, special orders, lay-bys, gift vouchers, the reordering process, FPOS integration, repairs and job management, lots of loyalty features built in there. So whether it's the discount vouchers or accruing points for customers or simply providing a discount for, VIP statuses and things like that. What else have we got to go through, Justin? Secondhand goods. Again, really, really popular with our firearm stores. You can track secondhand firearms through the system as well. So totally dedicated facility. I can jump in here. I can add the customer to the transaction. I can add any firearms to that. And that will track who I purchased the secondhand firearm from, who I then on-sold it to. It'll record serial numbers. It'll force me to do proof of identification. It'll print out contracts for the customer to sign. A lot of functionality in there. I sort of rattled through my list of things I had on the list, Justin. Is there anything you can think that our firearms fishing and camping stores really love about the system?
Look, you know what? I'm looking at my list too, and you've covered most things. I mean, obviously there is a lot more, especially general features as well. Obviously the reporting, there's over 50 or 100 reports, whether they're sales reports, customer reports, staff reports.
The visual deck as well, being able to view that from any device, to view the kind of analytical and statistical information.
Yeah. Xero integration as well, so we'll push all your accounting data over to Xero at the end of each day. E-commerce integrations, Shopify has by far been the most common one, but we also integrate with Magento and WooCommerce. And as I said before, we've got an in-house web dev team, so we can help with that process. A lot of customers do choose to self-manage that. And actually, a good thing to talk about there, with self-managing some of that information, our website is actually a really good resource for that. So any of our customers can sign onto the website. So I can log in here. I've got exactly the same access as what one of our customers would. I can come in here, and if I on my screen here, I've got Tower Knowledge Base. And I can book the free training through here as well. But I can come into Knowledge Base, and if I wanted to integrate the system with Shopify, for example, I can simply type Shopify in here, and I've got Shopify integration information, Shopify link, install, and this gives me all the steps for it. So a really good resource for, self-education. But that said, all of our packages come with 24 hours a day, 7 days a week support. Based out of our Melbourne office, it really is, as strange as this may sound, just real support. You pick up the phone and call us. You get
people just like us. We don't do scripting for calls. We remote access. So if someone calls up and say, "Hey, can you help me with something?" They can actually, as a customer, you can go help and remote connect, and that will allow our team to be able to jump in, and we'll assist you from there. We get really good feedback on the support service we provide.
I just thought of another one just quickly as well. I'm not sure if you've got any data set up, but the stock manager tool is a really important feature as well that everyone loves.
Yeah, really good point. I don't have data set up on my computer for it at the moment, but we've done 2 or 3 other videos on that. So by all means, if someone's looking for that, search for stock manager or shoot Justin or I an email, and we'll flick you through the links to it.
Yeah, but basically allows you to sort of manipulate a bunch of stock without doing the old, exporting data to Excel, doing whatever you need to do, and then re-importing that data in. And
again, it has that same level of flexibility that you were talking about before, Justin. I'll populate this with some data. So we'll go through it quickly. So if I go search, I might want to look at all of my Spiker products, for example. So I can put a keyword in. I want anything with Spiker in the description, whether it falls at the start, the middle, or the end, it'll find it. I can choose what I want to look at. So I'm looking at, I just really want my quantity on hand info. I'm not fussed about cost pricing, so I might disable cost price, but I do want to see what category it's in, and maybe I want to see who the supplier is as well. So I can turn those fields on and off, and I can then bulk edit that. So if I wanted to move all of these products from a bunch of different departments here, I could change those all in bulk. Or if Spiker, maybe it was a rebranding exercise and I needed to change a keyword in all of those descriptions, I can do all of that sort of stuff in one here. It's been really popular amongst our customers.
Even if it's a supplier just says, "Hey, all of our prices have gone up by a certain percentage as well," you can bring up a list of all those products from that particular supplier and use this tool to do that price increase as well.
Yeah. And then you can send this list to different places as well. So if you then wanted to print labels for them, after doing a price change, if you wanted to get a report on it, or if you did want to send this data maybe off to your supplier, you could export that to a CSV or perform a stock take on it, or even reorder them.
Excellent.
Anything else you want to add, Justin?
No, look, you've covered it pretty well. Yeah.
Look, I guess, to finish it up, I would say, one of the biggest questions our customers have kind of comes back to the actual install process. So as part of our onboarding, I'll just give a quick rundown on it. As part of our onboarding service, we'll assist with extracting and preloading your product data and customer data. We'll review it and let you know if we see any complications. We'll help you get that into the system as a starting point. We offer a one-on-one service when it comes to that installation and onboarding process, where you'll have a dedicated team member for at least 2 days to help you get from A to B and help you get it all set up. Our normal approach is to really just help you get from A to B to start with. So just get the basics done, just get up and running on the new system. And then over time, we can chip away at using those more advanced features and really help you get the most out of the system. With 100% Australian, our support staff are all here, totally Australian owned and developed. We're doing things local.
Yeah. Well done.
Anything you want to add, Justin?
No. I think you've mentioned during it anyway. Obviously, this is a brief demonstration, but we'd be more than happy to sit down one-on-one and go through more specific things if this demonstration didn't answer any questions you've got, or anything that your business sort of needs that obviously the demonstration didn't touch on. More than happy to sit down and go through one-on-one the steps of it and get through those.
You know what, really good point. Make a list for us, shoot it through. We can then map that out and show you how it all works in the system, and really just make sure it is going to be a good fit for their business.
For both of us moving forward.
Yeah. No worries. All right. Well, let's leave it there. If anyone's got any questions, either call Justin or I via the 1300 number or mobile, or shoot us through an email to sales@towersystems.com.au. Thanks.